Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Midgard Golf. And we're back out here today at my favorite course still in the state of Colorado, Arrowhead Golf Club up in Littleton, Colorado. So this is going to be kind of an interesting round today. Unbeknownst to us on our way out here, they are redoing the bunkers this day on the front nine. So we're going to be playing the back nine twice. So this will be kind of a fun experiment, right? So as to be able to see, will we shoot better on this back nine the first time around or the second time around? As everybody knows, the harder handicapped holes tend to be on the front nine, which actually isn't the case on this course. The number one handicap is on the back nine here. But generally speaking, that's the case on a lot of courses out there. I would dare say the majority. So let's give it a rip and see what we can do. So this first hole here, aka the 10th hole, downhill par 4. We're playing it from the whites at 381 yards. Kind of a windy day today, so yeah, you can't tell on some of the holes because the giant rocks block it. But yeah, it was whipping. Yeah, you'll see what I'm talking about with the flags whipping and whatnot. But yeah, pretty much all you don't want to do is get in those bunkers on the right side or just snap one way too hard to the left and end up in the bushes and trees. Outside of that, yeah, not a whole lot to worry about. Just, yeah, pipe one down there. So I'm going to give it the 2-iron, and Chris and Tim are giving it the driver. Let's give it a rip down there and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are coming up to the second hole of the day, the 11th, back here on this back nine. So, just a little par 3, 124 yards on the card, but playing a bit more than that this day. So, we ended up playing it around more of like 140 or so from where they had the tee boxes. But just a beautiful view. This is really where you start to get the real feel of the big old red rocks on the back nine and actually getting into them with that giant one in the background there. So, yep, getting up here. The wind is pushing into us. Kind of hard to feel on the ground, but yeah, it is what it is. So I'm taking a club up and going for the gap wedge, not being able to see where the pin was, and the pin's actually in the back. Probably should have played more like a pitching wedge or a 9-iron into this wind, but what can you do? So anyway, this hole, just don't end up in those bunkers off to the left, I'd say. Those are pretty treacherous. If you do end up on that bunker on the right, it's a low lip. And if you're a decent enough bunker player, that's not going to be all that big of a problem. If you go long, I mean, you're probably going to find your ball in sort of the desert wasteland directly behind the green there, but you're going to have a pretty unfavorable lie back there to try to chip back up on this back to front green. So let's give it a rip and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are on the third hole of the day, number 12 here. And this is the number one handicapped hole on the course. So, hard dog leg left, par 4, playing at 398 yards for us today. And on the GPS, it was just about the number. It was like 401, 402, something like that. So, virtually exactly that. But yeah, so this hole here, I mean, if you can hit a pretty draw, then that's what you want to do. But honestly, I mean, the best play to make sure that you're going to have a shot on the green is just to play like a mid iron to a long iron out there. Whatever you hit, like 220 to 240, I'd say. from these tee boxes anyway. And then just make a sharp left-hand turn, and you'll have about 160, 70, 80, depending on where you land, on into the green. The risk line is right over those bushes to the left. So if you're going to take that, yeah, take care of not hitting it all that far, because if you do, you're still going to be in some bushes that are on the right side of the fairway, way down there. That'll be just about on your line, that direction. Outside of that, stay out of the bunkers long and directly in front of you, and you should be A-OK. So, let's give it a rip and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are on the fourth hole of the day. Another par 3 right off the rip here. Pretty cool. And this one, let me tell you, is even more picturesque than the last one, in my opinion. Very cool, with two red rocks on either side of you that you have to hit between like a field goal in order to get up on this green. So you're going to have a couple of bunkers short of the green, which honestly, not really a problem if you happen to get into those. Pretty low lips. Yeah, they're okay. If you go long, however, and you get past the very steep slope of rough just behind the green there, you're going to very quickly be in that water. So, yeah, take care of that. You've got a little bit of room to miss to the left, as I'm panning over here, looking at the red rocks for you, just so you can see the full view. But anyway, I digress. Not a whole lot of room to miss to the right, though. So if you're going to miss, I would miss short or left. So choose your club for that. So we're playing this hole at 171 yards, plays about 20 yards under that number for how downhill it is. So my recommendation, grab out that 150 club, adjust for the wind if it happens to be your face, and see what you can do. Let's check it out. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are coming up to the fifth hole of the day for us, number 14. One of my favorite holes on this course, indeed, just a short par 4, playing at 284 for us this day. So up here to the right, that's where the back tee boxes are normally when they've got it playing long. And then there's another tee box series that I'll get out of the cart and show you here in just a second, where they tend to have the whites placed and I think sometimes the reds back up there on the upper plateau. Yep, right here and up there in the back. So just to show you where those happen to be. But they weren't playing these this day, so we're actually playing from the next tee box up. And yeah, I'm going to pan over here pretty quick here and show you the view of the red rocks off to the left. Yeah, there we go. Just to give you the whole view as you could see it if you were actually there. But then right there on that little lone island, that is the forward tees. So the yellows out here. Yep, if you were playing those. So no matter what, really cool tee box you're going to be playing from. Real cozy, just awesome. So this hole here, hard dog leg right. I'm just going to take a 2-iron and aim at that bushy tree you can see right there in kind of the middle of the fairway. And yep, try to fade the ball off of that and give us a nice little flip wedge up onto the screen. Let's give it a rip and see what we do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are approaching the sixth hole of our day here, number 15. And this is, again, another really cool hole. I mean, you can play it safe by playing it just straight out into this fairway with something short, right? Or you can try to hit a fade, kind of taking the shape of the hole out into that fairway. Or if you really want to get risky and just go for it, then you can bomb it straight over the red rocks over there to the right and try to get real close to the green, if not on it. But from these tee boxes that we're playing at, you would have 364 yards to clear in order to do so, tipping out at 409. So, yeah. Good luck with that shot if that's what you're going to try to do. My recommendation on this hole, just play it safe. It's really not all that difficult of an approach shot after this. Yeah, and just make it a nice, easy two-piece hole, stress-free. So I'm taking the driver anyway because you can't really tell, but it's kind of dead into the wind here. So, well, the wind's pushing kind of left to right, but also hurting a bit. So anyway, that's what we're dealing with, and I'm just going to try to pop one up there and put it somewhere over the dead bushy trees to the right, just to the left of the red rock, and get it up on that line. So let's give it a rip and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are coming up to the seventh hole of our day, number 16. And finally, the first par 5 of the day. So just 555 yards from the tee boxes we're playing, tipping it at 585. So not all that much reprieve here. But what are we dealing with? A blind tee shot, and after the tee shot, the hole still goes pretty straight. So you don't have really a dog leg or any hazard to worry about here. Just grip it and rip it. The better line on the green is definitely going to be from the left side. So if you're going to miss a direction, I'd say favor the left for sure. You're going to be safe on the right, but you're going to have kind of some hanging tree bushes in your way off of there to try to attack that green in too, unless you're going to try to do it again with a fade after that, which if you miss to the right, then I guess that would be an easy shot for you. So either way, pick your poison, but my personal suggestion, try to miss left. So let's give it a rip and see what we could do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are coming up to the eighth hole of our day, number 17, and the final par 3 for this front 9 here. Just 166 yards to get up on this green, but it was actually playing on the GPS a little bit longer than that, more like, yeah, closer to the reds at 184. So it was about 180 on the number for where they had the tees this day. But anyway, the hole tips out at 202, so not all that bad. But all right, let's talk about the hole a little bit. You've got some forced clearance right in front of you, of course. It stretches all the way to the green, and that's kind of the line you're going to want to take. I guess you could bail out to the left if you just were not having a confident day with that number, or that, the club you would have to hit in order to hit that number, I should say. But yeah, I mean, send it up there, just try to stab this green. And it's actually double green. So the flag you see way in the back right, that is actually the number 1 green. So yeah, if you happen to just launch one way too long, you could still end up over there on the number 1 green, and you'll still be on, well, kind of the putting surface. You're just going to have an insanely long putt to come back over to the number 17 green and in turn hole here. So, yeah, I mean, if you're going to miss left here, don't get in those bunkers. Although if you do, they're really not all that difficult. You'll probably be just fine to pitch it out of that and put it up on this giant green. So, let's give it a rip here, 8 iron in hand, and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are coming up to the final hole for this first part of this two-part series out here at Arrowhead Golf Club as we play the back nine 2 times in a row to see what we can score on both attempts here in the same day under the same conditions. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you're liking this content, throw us a like and subscribe. You know we love your company, and we're only about 30 or 31 subscribers out from when I'm editing this right now from the next hat giveaway, and the hats should be on their way in the next couple weeks here. They'll be branded Bills hats, real great quality. So yeah, get in that subscriber list and you'll be in contention for that. So anyway, this last hole here, yeah, we kind of drove a little too far past the tee box as the guys really didn't know where the tee was. And I just kind of let him go because I was, of course, filming. And then I finally caught him and said, hey, no, turn around. So yeah, we flipped around and then I cut it and then here we are. So anyhow, yeah, this hole, pretty short par 5 as par 5s go, tipping out at 502 for us playing at 460, but straight uphill for the tee shot here, blind, of course, and then after that it flattens out quite a bit as you make your way up to a plateau green. There is a hidden lake off to the left, that big old rock you see off to the left of the fairway. If you go over that with some mustard on it, you're probably going to be wet. So yeah, I wouldn't do that. Definitely stay to the right here to make sure that you're going to stay dry. Apart from that, after that, it'll be just pretty much a straight shot, curving a little bit to the left to get up on this green, and it turns into a pretty stock standard par 5. So let's give it a rip here, 2 iron in hand, and see what we can do.